So how many of you guys are familiar with Sarah Baker perfumes? Remember Jungle Jezebel? I have a review of it on the channel. Go catch it if you haven't caught that video yet. But this is one of her fragrances. But Sarah Baker is launching a new collection of 5 fragrances called the S.Baker Collection 2020 launch. 50 ml bottles, $95 each, Eau De Parfum concentration. So this is a second line for her brand. And the 5 fragrances include Bascule, which is created by Ashley Eden Kessler. It's a leather fragrance. Far from the Madding Crowd, created by Miguel Matos, a woody aromatic fragrance. Flame and Fortune, created by Sarah Baker, an Oriental floral fragrance. Clef, another fragrance created by Sarah Baker, citrus aromatic or Fougere fragrance. And then finally Symmetry, created by Carbonel. This is a woody fragrance. So I'm going to discuss with you today the 5 new fragrances. In my new brands preview video, obviously we're doing a new brand each week, or trying to do a new brand each week. And this is sort of a new brand, but not really, but this is a new collection from a brand that's been around. And I've done a few videos about this brand. Go catch those videos if you haven't caught them yet. We have a discount code and a giveaway as well. 1 full bottle giveaway for subscribers of this channel, USA, Canada, EU, and UK of your choice. And the discount code is 20% off, and you could use the code The Perfume Guy. I'll have a link in the info box to the website. So if you're curious to learn about this new collection from Sarah Baker, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. That's right, today I'm talking about Sarah Baker Perfumes S.Baker collection of fragrances, 5 fragrances total. These are new fragrances, they're under $100 each. Niche houses under $100. This is always great. They are 50 ml bottles, so in the end, if you factor in a 100 ml bottle, it does turn out to be about $200, but you can still get niche fragrances for under $100, and these are 50 ml sizes. They're Eau De Parfum fragrances. I'm going to discuss with you all these fragrances and tell you about the discount code and also the giveaway at the end of the video as well. But before I get to the fragrances, if this is your first time tuning into my channel and you still haven't subscribed, please do click the subscribe button below, and also click the bell so you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So if you are familiar with this brand, let me know, put a comment down so I can find out. But I discovered Sarah Baker probably in 2018. I met her and then I shot a video with her. She was visiting San Francisco and we did a quick video, and obviously I did a review of a collection of her original fragrances from a few years ago. But today, as I said, she's launching 5 new fragrances, and there's a few that I really am enjoying a lot, and I'm going to tell you which one's my favorite. In fact, I'm going to do this video in a way that I'm putting my favorite at first. So I'll be talking to you about my favorite first, but when I first announced the names of the fragrances, that's the alphabetical order of the fragrances. So the Sarah Baker fragrances are like this. They come in a small greenish box with her logo on it, and the fragrances are inside. This is what they look like. Very minimalistic, simplistic, easy to carry around, 50 ml bottles. And my favorite is Symmetry. And it's created by Carbonel. I don't know if you guys know of Carbonel. He does some great fragrances, and I really love this one. It's a woody fragrance, and I'm going to tell you about this one. To me, it's all about oud, but it's also about cypriol. If you guys don't know cypriol, go do some search and find out some fragrances that features this note. It's becoming very popular to use this note. It works great with oud. It really does work great here. And it's, to me, this is an animalic version of, let's say, for example, not animalic, it's not overly animalic, but if you're so used to something like oud wood from Tom Ford, it'll remind you of it, but there are animalic touches running throughout it. So it can come off animalic. If you're sensitive to the animalic notes, it might be really, really prominent. But when you like a little bit of the animalic touches, this one smells great. So for me, it's a nice combination of oud, cypriol with bergamot. They work really well together. The bergamot adds this greenish citrus freshness along with the oud, which does have the animalic touches. And I think the oud in here, it could be a combination of synthetic oud, Western oud, and real oud, because synthetic oud doesn't really go animalic unless they add animalic touches, but I feel like this is a combination of both. And I really love this one because I love oud wood, but sometimes it can get one-dimensional. It's a combination of cardamom and oud in that fragrance, but I like the fact that this one, the touches in here of the animalic touches and the freshness is really, really green fresh with the bergamot, which is a nice contrast with the deep and rich and heavy oudy woodiness of the oud. The cypriol note is very, very unique. Once you pick that note out, you'll start finding it in other fragrance because it's really, really stand out. For me, cypriol smells like a combination of woods, patchouli, some aromatic notes, and earthy vetiver. Like it's like the smell of all those notes. And it also reminds me of the smell of papyrus. They're kind of, I think, related. So it's becoming really, really popular to use cypriol, and I think it works great in here. So Symmetry is my favorite of the collection. And again, these are 50 ml bottles for $95, Eau De Parfum concentrations. And there's 4 different perfumers here, as I said, and this one is the one created by Christian Carbonel. I really dig this one. I think it'll be great as a fresh and deep oud fragrance, you know? It smells great. So that's how Symmetry comes. And on the back of the box, you can see the information for Symmetry. My second favorite fragrance from the Sarah Baker S.Baker collection of fragrances is Far From the Madding Crowd, created by Miguel Matos. This is a woody aromatic fragrance, and it's over the top ultra green. So if you like green fragrances, which I'm a fan of, this is going to satisfy. I like this one a lot because it's a contrast of fruits and also greens together. It smells like a sort of a warm spring day with a breeze, and you're smelling the trees breeze hitting your nose with how the breeze kind of picks up the fragrance of the trees and it hits your nose with it. That's kind of how this fragrance works on me. So in the end, it's not like a warm summer day, but you can wear it on a warm summer day because it is on the fresh side. It's very, very fresh to me. But in the end, it's still a woody aromatic fragrance, and there's lots of aromatic touches. I would also go to the extent of calling it floral, but the floral touches are not your typical flowers. For me, it's very herbal and herbaceous. That's how this one is for me. That's how the bottle is, S.Baker, as you can see, Far From the Madding Crowd. Similar bottle, but a great green fragrance. It's, to me, when I was first wearing this fragrance, I started testing it out without looking at notes or anything. As soon as I sprayed it, I thought, it smells like basil, like a green basil note, very, very, intense version of it. But in the end, it turned out to be, see, it also, when you smell it, it also kind of reminds me of tomato leaf, but it's not what it is. It's bergamot with eucalyptus. There's a black currant note in here, so it's got a fruitiness, but it doesn't jump out too much. It's there. It's like trying to come out, or it could also be like you're smelling a black currant that's not fully mature, so it doesn't have its intense smell developed. So that's also prominent. There's a little bit of oak moss in here. It adds a slight animalic leathery touch, but lots of bitter green petitgrain. There's some plum, a little powdery heliotrope. There are some floral touches like jasmine and woody touches of cedar, but there's also a myrtle note. I really love this myrtle note. When I was growing up, my grandmother had a myrtle tree, and it has the most beautiful little white flowers, and it's so fragrant. So I'm looking for a great myrtle fragrance. But in the end, with this one, in the back there, you can totally pick up the myrtle note. I really love it. It's kind of like a minty, herbaceous kind of a white flower smell, which is really, really unique. I really love that smell. There is a little bit of castoreum here, and in the end, you can pick it up. So it does have animalic touches. But you know what? This is my second favorite, and I really like it. It just is very, very fresh and refreshing. Just walking in a warm spring day with the breeze out, you're just smelling all the vegetation and fruits that are like starting to grow. That's the kind of smell it is. So that's my second, Far From the Madding Crowd. And I have to be honest, I enjoyed 3 fragrances a lot. The last 2 fragrances were not for me, and I'll tell you which 2 are not for me. So my third favorite fragrance from the collection is Clef, once again similar bottle. On the back it says Clef right there. I don't know if I showed you far from the matting crowd, but that's how the bottles or the boxes are. So Clef is a citrus aromatic fougere fragrance, but to me it's an aquatic aromatic or aquatic citrus or citrus aquatic aromatic. Does that make sense to you guys? It does border the fougere side, but doesn't go there. To me, for me, it doesn't smell like a barbershop fragrance too much, but it's kind of hinting at it, if that makes sense. So this Clef right there. I love these bottles. I just love the you can hold them. They're like, you know, they just fit in my hand perfectly. So the standout notes in here is coumarin. Coumarin is typically found in a fougere fragrance in the base. Coumarin and tonka beans are the same. This one also has grapefruit, bergamot, lavender, oak moss, cologne. Cologne is the guy that is not my favorite, but this is my third favorite out of the 5. Hedione and amber. Hedione is smelling like jasmine, floral touches. So, but the cologne, it's there. You can totally smell the cologne, and cologne basically is marine notes. Like it smells like it's a synthetic marine note smell. So when you first spray this one, it's ultramarine, but it settles down to smelling like a citrus aromatic fragrance with aquatic touches. In the end, it's almost like a beachy citrus aromatic fougere. There is something beachy in here, almost like coconut. And coconut reminds me of suntan lotion, so that's why I'm saying it's beachy, because it's aquatic after all. There's an aquatic touch with cologne, and something mixed together. It's creating an accord of reminding me of coconut, or there could be a coconutty kind of note in here that is going in that kind of like a suntan lotiony direction. It doesn't fully go there, but it's hinting at it. Like there's something slightly milky or buttery or something that's under there that kind of reminds me of coconut or suntan lotion. But in the end, it's fresh, it's refreshing, it smells like lots of herbaceous notes. Lavender is pretty prominent. The oak moss once again comes in here again, gives me a sort of leathery, slight animalic touch. But this doesn't go full on animalic. The first two definitely are animalic. This one is definitely more aquatic, but it's nice. This is really nice. It's fresh, it's refreshing, but again, it's ranked at number 3 because I'm not the biggest fan of aquatics, and sometimes aquatics do rub me the wrong way. Here it doesn't, thankfully, but it's not my favorite style, if that makes sense. So Clef, it's a fresh one. Check it out. Once again, these are $95 for 50 ml bottles. I think they make great gifts as well. As you can see, the boxes are pretty nice, and I'll tell you about the discount code at the end. So 2 fragrances left, and these were, I have to be honest, these were not my favorite. And number 4 is Bascule, and it's in a bottle like that, and the juice is quite dark, a similar box as you can see. And the reason I don't like this one so much is because it's animalic. It's a very animalic leather. It really has very animalic touches. And I can tolerate animalic notes, but I don't want to be swimming in it. I want to smell great. And animalic notes sometimes just don't smell that pleasant to me. This one is it's animal-y. Horsey. Does that make sense? Horses. So it's created by Ashley Eden Kessler. It's a leather fragrance, and it's an animalic leather fragrance. The notes are leather, tobacco, lily of the valley, hay. And I think the hay note in here is rubbing me the wrong way a little bit. Something about the hay along with the, I don't know, the animalic leather in here is not my favorite. There's also grass, bergamot, peach, vetiver, musk, amber, and fir. So there's a lot of green, there's a lot of herbaceous and, you know, like fresh notes in here. It's contrasting with that animalic touch of the hay with the leather. Some parts of the fragrance I can tolerate, but finally the animalic touches are taking over, and it's not something I would really wear a lot. It doesn't live too long, the animalic parts. Finally, it settles down to more of a herbal, kind of a grassy green fragrance. but it's not my favorite fragrance, unfortunately. It's very animalic for me, and I do have challenging times with certain animalic fragrances. Not all. I love my musks. I love a little bit of civet, a little bit of ambergris, a little bit of castoreum. But even though they don't really mention like animalic notes credited in here, I think something, the leather and the hay together comes off quite a bit. Barnyard is the word I should say, because it's very horsey to me. Anyway, that is Bascule. Now, some of you guys like animalic fragrances. You guys should check it out. These are priced really nicely. And the last fragrance, it's not animalic, it just wasn't for me. Does that make sense to you guys? I mean, I'm giving you my honest opinions. You guys have been following me. You know what kind of styles I like. You know what kind of fragrances I like, and you know what kind of fragrances I don't like. This particular fragrance was just not my kind of fragrance. It didn't make sense to me, unfortunately. I can see the idea behind it, but it wasn't working on my skin. So anyway, this is called Flame and Fortune. Similar box, as you can see. I would call this an Oriental floral fragrance. Darker juice, as you can see. And typically I'm a fan of Oriental fragrances. These are my favorite styles. But this one has, I don't know, it's overdose of smoke with the labdanum, and I love labdanum. Labdanum itself is very smoky, but it smells like burned apricot, just charred. But, you know, there's a lot of different things going on with it. There's labdanum, apricots, petitgrain, smoke, fire, mezcal, orange blossom, ginger, lily of the valley, tuberose, jasmine, pink pepper. Lots of stuff going on. And typically I love these notes. I absolutely love these notes. But I think the fire, the mezcal, which I'm not a fan of. I love tequila, but not mezcal. Go figure. And the smoke are just over like doing, like there's just a lot of it. Because typically I love orange blossom. I really love lily of the valley, tuberose. All of those notes are really, really wonderful, but something is gone really dark with this fragrance, and it's just like making them fiery, like really intensely fiery. But some of you might like this one. It's definitely floral, and it's definitely Oriental. The labdanum adds the very ambery touches, because it definitely has ambery touches here, but it's ultra smoky, like intensely smoky and dark. Almost charred is what I was trying to say. Anyway, it's called Flame and Fortune. So as you can see, the name, I love the name. It's my favorite name out of all of them. But unfortunately, it just didn't work for me. That's my honest opinion. Flame and Fortune, the last fragrance from Sarah Baker. Let me know your thoughts on the S.Baker collection. Have you tried them? Do you like them? Do you have any of the Sarah Baker fragrances from the previous collection? There are some good ones in the collection. I love Leopard and a few others. So let me get to the giveaway and the discount code. So the discount code, the Perfume guy saves you 20% off. And the discount code will go until December 7th. Obviously, that will be the cutoff date for the discount code, and also to get shipping before Christmas. So it'll save you 20% off. And to participate in the giveaway, all you have to do is let me know which of the fragrances sounds the best to you. What did you like about this review video? And finally, please put down your country. Again, this is only open to USA, Canada, EU, UK subscribers of this channel. So if you're from Canada, please put down Canada. If you're from UK, please put down UK. If you're from EU, put down your EU country. If you're from the USA, please put down USA and your state. Please also make sure you're subscribed. Other than that, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. Good luck with the giveaway. Take advantage of the discount code. It's a good one, and it goes until December 7th, as I said. Other than that, if you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye. Again, my two favorites from the S.Baker collection are Far From the Madding Crowd and Symmetry. Symmetry is my first favorite. It's my favorite of all of them, but Far From Madding Crowd is definitely there as well. Both of them do have animalic touches, so you must love animalic fragrances. This one is, as I said, very, very green, slightly fruity, and slightly floral, but a breezy fragrance, fresh and refreshingly green. This one is, you know, reminding me of oud wood, but a slightly animalic version of oud wood, but the dense, oudy, woody fragrance. So these are definitely approved by me, and I highly recommend you guys check them out. But be warned, as I said, they are on the animalic side.